All right, so right now I've got a couple of very special guests in the studio with me. So I've got my cousin, Rob, and I've got his son, Charlie. And so Charlie is a resident of an organization called Misericordia. And so what I'd like to do is have Rob kind of explain to people what Misericordia is all about. So, Rob, welcome to the Wizard.
Okay, we're on.
Let me get you on. There we go.
Well, it's great to be here, Mark. So Misericordia is actually celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. They started as an orphanage in the far south side, and I don't know exactly when they came up, the exact year when they came up to the North Campus. I'm going to say that was probably about 60, 70 years ago.
Shift over onto this mic. I think 3 is the one that's working. There we go. That's
okay,
better.
over there?
Yeah, now much better.
Now I can hear myself. Okay.
All right.
So Sister Rosemary Connolly has been with Misericordia for, 50 years now?
Yeah, I think around 50 or so years.
Yeah, so the main campus is on Ridge and Devon. There's about 650 residents in total. The majority of the residents are on campus, but then folks like Charlie live in homes just outside of campus. He's up in they call it a CILA, Community Integrated Residential Arrangement, I think, right?
That's right.
How many people are in your house, Charlie?
There are a total of 4 other people in our house, but also including me and staff, it would be 6.
Okay.
Including a live-in.
So there's always staff. There's always at least one staff person there. So they're not living. They're living independently, but
with some assistance.
There's always assistance provided.
Yeah. So generally speaking, the folks that are in these CILAs, these homes outside of campus, generally higher functioning. Many of them do hold outside jobs. Such as Charlie, and Charlie will talk a little bit about this. He is a church musician and has been for many years, playing piano and the pipe organ. But there's one of his residents works at a restaurant on the lake in Fullerton in the city. Another works at McDonald's. So they really try to emphasize folks working outside and trying to be as independent as possible.
So does Misericordia work with people to find the jobs? Do they work with organizations and companies?
Exactly. Yep.
Nice.
Charlie was doing, prior to the pandemic, was leading tours at a nature center out in the far northwest suburbs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So they've just created all kinds of opportunities. He was playing the piano for their chorus, and they would... again, pre-pandemic, we're doing so many events around the city. Singing the national anthem at White Sox Park.
Awesome.
Yeah,
when was that?
Actually, the Misericordia Heart Singers, that's the name of the choir at Misericordia. They usually do it around April.
Awesome.
And he's you would appreciate this, Mark. He performed for an event, a fundraiser with Niels Lofgren.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we just did a virtual video with him over the summer for epilepsy. But
also known as the Cure. Yeah. That's what it's known for.
So now, in your house, do you cook your own meals? Do you do your own, take care of yourself in the house there?
Yes, we do cook our own meals along with staff. And for, laundry and everything, we do need to get assistance with it.
So now, do you cook meals just for yourself, or you cook meals for the whole group?
We cook meals basically both for ourselves. Like, we usually cook our own breakfast, make our own breakfast during the week, and make our own lunches for work and everything. But besides everything else, usually we cook for the whole house.
Oh, awesome. Fantastic. Very cool. What's the favorite thing you like to cook?
My favorite thing I love to cook is stuffed peppers.
Ooh, stuffed peppers. What do you stuff those with?
We stuff those with meat and cheese and I think some tomato sauce, and it's really, really delicious. And I love the meals that we have at my house, Baumgartner.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, my parents were telling me there's a restaurant at Misericordia that they actually have in-house eating there.
Yes, and Charlie was one of the waiters. It's still closed, unfortunately. Because there's some people they really, residents, have to be really, really careful. But we are hoping in 2022 that they'll reopen. It's called the Greenhouse Inn.
Yeah.
Wonderful place. Charlie leads. You were doing birthdays earlier. A lot of people come there to celebrate their residents' birthday or parents' birthdays, and so they have a whole song that they do that Charlie leads in the Greenhouse Inn.
So, that's awesome.
And I was volunteering there as well.
Now, do they serve lunches, dinners? What kind of meals they serve?
It's just lunch, right?
Just
there?
lunch.
They only serve lunch on Tuesdays through Fridays, but then they have a wonderful Sunday brunch from like 9 until like 2:30 or 3 on Sunday afternoons.
Wow. So when do they think that's going to be opening back up? Any ideas?
I would,
with the new variant.
It's like, you always have to preface everything with that, right?
Yes.
But I think they're aiming for spring.
Awesome.
I'm hopeful. And then they have that new bakery just down the street that they're hoping.
So the residents are selling baked goods?
Yes,
oh.
and making them.
Oh, fantastic!
So Charlie works in the bakery. He does. They sell coffee and tea, and
So now that's open now, right? The bakery.
Yeah. So you can go online, Misericordia.com, and you can order fantastic baked goods for the holidays. I'm probably going to be volunteering there soon in the next couple of weeks. For that. But there's also coffee and tea that they sell.
So now, how does Misericordia get their money?
I think about 60% from the state.
Okay.
The rest through donations, but they have to raise about $20 million a year.
Wow.
Yeah, and they do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just an amazing organization in terms of the events that they do and the money that they raise.
Do the families of the residents have to pay for any of this care, or is it all?
There's no set amount because it varies obviously by family and their income level.
So you donate what you feel comfortable.
What you feel comfortable with, and also your time.
Right.
So Julie and I do a lot of volunteering.
Yeah.
She's actually the co-chair for the Women's Ball next October.
Oh, okay.
Which may, at this point, be their first live event since the pandemic, since the beginning of the pandemic.
Wow.
But they've been holding all these events virtually.
Yeah.
And in some respects, they end up making more money because they don't have that much out of pocket, right?
Right.
You don't have to
Yeah.
buy the food, you don't have to rent the space, but there's nothing like being, together. So hopefully that'll return soon.
Wow, fantastic! Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. So now, yesterday you guys were in a special thing. So let's talk about this a little bit. So up in Barrington, there's a place called it's the San Filippo Estate. And so this is a guy who basically made his fortune by nut processing. So he came up with a number of machines that process nuts, and he has an amazing facility up there. And so what it is, he's got a pipe organ up there. So Charlie, maybe tell us a little bit more about that pipe organ.
Sure. So it's a 5-manual pipe organ, and I think it has around 8,000 pipes.
Wow.
Yeah, and on the organ, it's got everything for a color palette. It's got like strings, it's got flutes, it's got trumpets, it's got clarinets and saxophones, and even there's a piano that's connected to the organ too. It's got bells and whistles, and sleigh bells. It's just a wonderful, and the organist, David Wickerham, really showed it off well yesterday and did a bunch of holiday classics.
Now, you've played this organ before, right?
I have played this organ for the Pleasant Home Foundation in 2017, and that was really great.
Wow. Did they record your performance? Because I hear they can do that.
That performance they did not. They did record the performance.
The one last night.
Yesterday.
The one yesterday. Yeah. No, that's an amazing place. So if you ever get a chance to go out there, they don't open it that often. It's special events. And the things he has out there. So Charlie, what'd you think of those music boxes he has out there?
They were really, really cool. And even they had like player pianos, and even for the player pianos they had like the scroll rolling down of the notes that were playing, and even they had like violins on top of the
violins were crazy.
They were pretty amazing.
It's incredible because just when you think you've seen the biggest, baddest music box, there's one right around the corner that's even bigger. So, yeah, I mean, these things are the size of a room. So these things are just enormous.
Enormous.
Yeah, incredible facility.
They all are working.
Yeah.
Too. And it's just, first time I had been there, I was blown away.
Wow. So now you came actually this morning from a performance, right, Charlie?
Well, actually, not a performance. It was a church service.
Your church service.
I am the parish musician at St. Peter's Episcopal Church in Lakeview, Chicago, and I've been there since 2015. And, of course, when I've been the music director there, the church has been through some changes and, some challenging times. And, like over the past 18 months, my dad and I have done Zoom meetings for church services, but now they're back pretty much in person at their home space on Belmont and Broadway because they were at 2 temporary spaces before.
So now when they were doing virtual, could you get to the organ, or was that okay? So you were still in the church playing the organ?
Well, we were recording.
Okay.
So that's how we did it. So we recorded up at Church of the Atonement in our Edgewater neighborhood. So I was streaming that. But we also, during the pandemic, we got a MIDI 2-manual organ from Italy. And it's phenomenal. I mean, you can't tell the difference between, it sounds like a true pipe organ. And so it took us a while, but we finally figured out through Zoom how to connect that and have, not just a microphone, but a direct feed.
Yeah.
And so when he was at his Misericordia home, we would just switch over.
Oh, is that cool? Yeah.
So we learned a lot about technology.
Oh, that's really cool.
And but it's great to be back live.
Wow.
It's a fantastic organ.
So now, how many pipe organs have you played in the Chicago area here, Charlie?
I played a lot of organs in the Chicago area. Like one of my favorites that I love is that at the University of Chicago, Rockefeller Memorial Chapel has an amazing Skinner organ too. And then also the one right near my parents' apartment is the Goulding and Wood organ at Madonna della Strada Chapel at Loyola.
Nice.
Yeah, he did a virtual recital in January.
Nice.
Which you can also find online. So
Charlie is renowned in the organ community, from what I understand. So he is a world accomplished organist and travels the country. And so now you have to find an organ every couple of days, right?
Pretty much so. During the week, I practice mostly on Sundays and Mondays. I practice at Church of the Atonement in Edgewater. And then I also practice on the organ at the Croatian church right next door to Misericordia. And then I also practice on my keyboard at my parents' apartment and the piano there. Then when I'm at Misericordia, I always practice on my virtual organ there too. But I'm actually heading back to Misericordia in a month, so I will not be at Atonement on Mondays, but hopefully on Sundays I will be. But yeah.
If you've never experienced the sound of a full pipe organ, it is an amazing thing. The bass pedals, I think, are the most incredible thing for me. I got Charlie into real hot water the last time that I had him play something for me. We were at it was a dinner that a church in Oak Park used to do. It was a medieval-type dinner around Christmas. And a beautiful event, and they have the choir there and all kinds of wonderful things. And so while we were cleaning up, Charlie was going to be playing some nice little organ music. And being the devious cousin that I am, I had him play Bach's Fugue in G minor, which is just a beautiful piece. And I love to hear that on a full organ, and he got yelled at for that, so I apologize, Charlie. It was magnificent, though. It's unbelievable. When you hit those bass pedals, you are just an amazing, amazing musician, so I love hearing you play. So how often are there any shows that you play that people can come and listen to you at?
Well, I actually just did an open house for St. Peter's on November 7th because that was actually their grand reopening date for people and visitors to come by the church and check out the newly renovated space. They had moved the offices into the church space off to the side, and then they've also added a a fellowship area in another corner of the room, and a small chapel space and worship space. So they reincorporated everything because they had to sell the parish house, which was in kind of dire condition.
Oh yeah,
next door.
Yeah.
So,
But it was a great open house. We had Charlie's teacher now is a gentleman named David Jones, who's the organist at Holy Name Cathedral.
oh yeah.
So Charlie's lessons are now down there.
Wow.
We're doing them live, and which is great. Charlie Sega, who is the organist at Church of the Atonement, also played, and then the previous organist at St. Peter's, Nathaniel Rahm, he was at St. Peter's for 21 years. He also performed. So it was a magnificent concert. But we are, Loyola's talking about reopening and having live concerts again on Sundays. And, I know that Steve wants to get you in there as soon as that happens. I actually heard a service announcement right before you came on, Mark, for Care for Real. And actually, I'm a volunteer there. And we're talking about possibly doing a fundraiser concert at Church of the Atonement for Care for Real. And Charlie would obviously, both Charlies would be involved because they just turned 50 in the organization. And Church of the Atonement and a synagogue were the ones who started Care for Real 50 years ago. So we thought it would be kind of cool to have, a benefit concert, organ concert at Church of the Atonement. So,
that would be. Yeah. Oh, very cool. Very
but
cool.
obviously, with the pandemic, we're a little bit limited in terms of, terms of what we can do. But I would say Loyola will probably be his next big concert.
Okay. So when's that going to be? A couple months, you think?
Probably a couple months.
Couple months? Awesome. All right. Well, give me
so.
the date. We'll let people know about that.
Yep.
So what's your favorite organ to play in the area here?
one of my favorite organs that I love to play in the Chicago area is actually in Evanston, called St. Luke's Episcopal Church. They got a really beautiful Skinner organ built from 1922, which is the same year that the Grace organ was built.
Oh, nice.
And actually the architect of the building, which Don John Sutcliffe, was actually the same one who designed Grace. And I actually used to know the organist there, but I don't anymore. So hopefully someday I'll have a chance to play it again, but I don't know when.
Yeah,
you like that organ over at St. Ida's, right, Charlie?
And there's a beautiful organ also too at St. Ida's, which is a nice Herbert and Howells 4 manual organ. It used to be a Wix, but I actually played there recently for Open House Chicago in October.
Oh, cool!
Yep.
Very cool.
We actually played 2 churches during that, so that was fairly recent.
Wow,
that was in
that's
October.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, tell you what, Rob, if you give that stack of records to Charlie, Charlie, pick one of those songs out from that organ collection. So we got some organ music here. Okay. So we're going to put on, there's like 3 albums in there, so have him pick out one of those.
Yep.
So, Rob, how many organs are there in the Chicago area? Any idea?
Oh, my gosh, I have no idea.
I'm just curious because I guess you got to figure that every church would have an organ, right? A big pipe organ?
Yeah, but a lot are in disrepair, and it just costs, it's so expensive to maintain them.
So the number of functional organs.
Yeah. And also, tragically, with the closing of so many churches.
Yeah.
I mean, and this area specifically has been really hard hit. They probably closed, I don't know, 10 to 12 Catholic parishes.
Right.
And some of them just had great organs.
Yeah.
So I could look in the Organ Historical Society database and probably give you a good number. But I mean, hundred.
Yeah.
In the hundreds.
In the hundreds. Yeah.
I don't think it's probably in the thousands. But, a fair amount. So, Charlie, what is the Halloween one that we liked? Which one is that?
It's the Toccata and Fugue in D minor by J.S. Bach.
Okay, man, I might have to bring that up on the YouTube. We got a ton of albums here, but sometimes they're just kind of hard to find. So what's the name of it now?
It's called the Toccata and Fugue in D minor by Johann Sebastian Bach, and it's a really appropriate piece too for Halloween.
In D minor?
Mm-hmm.
D minor. There it is, right there.
Oh, is this the one that the Fantasia?
No, that's a different one.
Okay.
Okay, I think I got it here.
Okay.
Let me see if I can bring something up. All right. So let's kind of do this. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yep.
That's what got me in trouble. So, Charlie, can you tell anything by listening to an organ, like what type of organ it is?
I'm actually not really sure, but of course in this recording I can for sure hear the deep bass foot pedal.
Yeah. So, are most organs powered by air?
Yes, through a blower.
Through a blower. Okay.
But trackers are not, right, Charlie?
No.
Right.
Because especially when I was at the San Filippo home yesterday, there was a huge blower for that instrument since it's so big.
Yeah. But try to explain what a tracker organ is.
Well, I think when we put all sounds together on a tracker organ, the touch, also known as the action, feels more tough than some other instruments do.
Yeah, because you don't have the electricity sort of helping you make the keyboard lighter on the touch.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. All right. Well, tell you what, I think we're going to wrap it up here. So, guys, thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much, Cousin Mark.
So good to see you guys. So good to talk about this stuff. So I definitely need to get that date from you when Charlie's concert is coming up. So we'll let people know about that if they want to go out and hear some fantastic organ music. He is unbelievably accomplished. I think the most amazing thing for me was we had our daughter's wedding recently, and I convinced the band to make a keyboard available for Charlie. And so while the band was on intermission for dinner, Charlie entertained us all, and just off the top of his head was pulling out amazing show tunes. He is just an incredible performer. You're just an amazing musician, Charlie. Really love listening to you. Really love watching you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Ross.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for coming in.
All right.
All right. We're going to switch it back to regular Wizard programming. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Take care and have a great Sunday. There's another Wizard coming in after me. So thanks again so much for listening. Take care, everybody.